first responders. The fire department has done a heroic job today and made decisive decisions under emergency conditions to get this child the medical treatment necessary as soon as possible. And certainly, we thank them for their service, and we certainly are here to continue support for the family as they go through this horrible tragedy that we find ourselves placed in today.
Chief, did this house that you were called to have any connection to a former lieutenant here at the police department?
So for privacy concerns of the family, we will not get into the address. It was a house on Pleasant Street in Winthrop that we responded to.
Can you talk a little bit about the fire department? When you say they had heroics, they had to make some difficult decisions at the last minute. Can you talk about that?
Sure. They made the decision to transport this child to Massachusetts General Hospital in the back of the fire chief's vehicle.
Chief, can you talk to us about the fact the ambulance situation here in Winthrop? I know they stationed a couple of ambulances. The chief had mentioned, the fire chief, that they were taken for different calls, and that's why he had to make that call. Can you kind of go into detail about what took place, making him make that call?
So oftentimes we find ourselves backed up, and we do have mutual aid agreements. I'll refer that back to the fire chief, since he's the emergency management director and also the primary contact for the town of Winthrop to Action Ambulance. So I'll refer that back to him.
Is there any indication why the child was unresponsive?
The part of the ongoing investigation, as you know, all unattended deaths are the jurisdiction of the district attorney's office and the state police. And what the police department is obviously coordinating and assisting in that investigation. I think the district attorney has released a public statement. As of right now, as foul play is not apparent at this point.
While we have you here, Lieutenant Feely is still behind bars, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what is his status with your department?
He's no longer a member of the Winthrop Police Department.
So, because in late December he was on administrative leave, but that changed?
Yes, that has changed.
Was there any process to that, or?
There was a process to that change. Again, personnel matters are not public record, and we have to say he's no longer a member of the Winthrop Police Department. We have severed our ties with him.
Was that child sick prior to today? Were there symptoms or anything that caused that parent to call 911?
So that's part of the ongoing investigation. We would not get into those details. We refer you to the district attorney's office and the state police, and we certainly thank the district attorney and the state police for their efforts today and coordinating with us, and also the state police for helping escort the fire vehicle into Mass General. So it took all agencies, all the power we have to make this tragedy less tragic for the family and try to prevent this tragedy from even happening.
Were there any calls in the last 24 or 48 hours to the house?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Chief, can you talk a little bit about just being a parent yourself, a 2-year-old child in cardiac arrest, unresponsive, what it's like for first responders to have to go to a situation like that, and then, when it has a tragic outcome like it did?
Sure. I mean, it's a toll taker on your emotions and your psyche, and certainly these incidents dealing with children, first responders, police, fire, ambulance, doctors and nurses stay with us for the rest of our careers. And certainly the toll takes on the family as well, and we understand that, and we're there first to support them, and second to support the officers of the police department, the firefighters of the fire department, and we'll make sure that they get the services they deserve to continue to be productive in their work. But these are not easy conversations when you go home to have with your own children, and certainly when you look at your children, it certainly brings you back. We've had too many of these in Winthrop in such a short period of time. So whether I'm talking about tragedies in general, and certainly it takes a toll over your career. It certainly does.
And just going back to the ambulance question one more time, just in retrospect, is there something that can be done to maybe prioritize the most important or the most needy at that time, or everything just comes in by time as to when you call 911?
So I don't coordinate that. The medicals are coordinated through the fire department. I'll let Chief Wiley answer that in due time. Obviously, I would ask you not to bother him today. It's a very emotional day for them as well, and I'd like him to decompress and recharge his batteries, and hopefully on Monday maybe you can ask that to him. Okay, seeing no further questions, thank you so much, have a good night.
Chief.
How do you say your last name, Chief?
Delahanty,
Delahanty. Okay.
Delehanty.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.